How's everyone doing? Just want to do a quick tech check while we're here. If you can hear me and see the screen of the slide, top 3 ways to manage your CRM better, uh, type in hello, give me a wave, thumbs up. Perfect, perfect. Love it, love it. Thank you. All right, so first off, thank you all so much for being here. I'd love to know where everyone's from. We have attendees from all over Canada and the US, so please drop the city you're from in the comments section. I'd love to see where you're all from. Let's try and keep this as interactive as possible. Post questions as well as we go. Toronto, California, Carlsbad, Ajax, BC. All right, spread out. Milton, love it, love it. Amazing. A lot of Toronto contingent in the house. Very nice to be here with you all. So this webinar is a crucial one. It's on the top 3 ways to manage your CRM better. And whether you've been using a CRM for many years or you're just starting out with a CRM, this is very relevant to everyone. As we know, real estate agents, you're in a people business, and it's absolutely crucial to manage your contacts and leads in an organized and efficient manner. So that's what we're talking about. 3 fundamental things you should be doing in your CRM to stay more organized and just be more efficient in your day. Now, as always with these webinars, we do like to keep them as short and sweet as possible, as efficient as possible, so you can get the most practical and just valuable information out of them. And throughout this webinar, please ask your questions. I'll try and get to all of them at the end as well. And in addition, please stick around to the end because I will be putting up some special promos with some links that are only accessible for live attendees here. So let's get going. Number 1, so sync your calendar. Make sure everything's synced in your calendar. I'm shocked at how many agents I speak to that use a CRM, but actually don't have it synced directly to their calendar. This seems very basic and obvious. And for those that are already doing this, great. But I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of you in here who have not synced your CRM to your calendar. It's one of these things that I find it just seems to be overlooked or just not done correctly or not updated. So, the reason why this is such an important thing to do, because any date that is in your CRM will basically just be right in your calendar, and our calendars live on our phones as well. So it's just any important date is at your fingertips at all times. Like fundamentally, this is at the core. Like this should be done first thing you do when you have a CRM. And then believe me, if your CRM is not integrated to your calendar already, you have no idea how much more organized and productive you're going to be and you're going to feel. Just to have these dates in your calendar, it's really going to take your productivity and your relationship building and organization to a whole another level. And for example, some important dates to integrate, and I'll show you a quick demo in the CRM as well. But for example, reminders to call or text certain contacts in your CRM. These are dates that could be on your calendar automatically. Managing your closing dates, client birthdays, anniversaries, etc. So let me quickly share my screen here and just go through that. Bear with me here. All right, so let me. All right, everyone can see my screen. Quick yes. See the dashboard here. Perfect. By the way, yes, this is recorded. Will be sent to whoever is in here. All right, so this is the dashboard here of a Web for Realty agent panel. I'm going to quickly show you a couple things here about specifically syncing. So first thing, how to sync. In the CRM, if you go here under settings, calendar integration. This is step 1, fundamental. So mine's already synced here. I'm going to disconnect and just show you, how easy it is to do it here. So once you're in here, if you're not synced, this is what you're going to see. So with a click of a button, you can click integrate your CRM directly to the calendar that you use, whether it's iCloud, Google, Office, Exchange, etc. So all of these dates are going to be just directly, automatically, without you even thinking about it, just pushed to your calendar. Reminders, birthdays, opportunities, closings, etc. So it's as simple as clicking this green connect to your calendar. I'm not sure if you see the pop-up here, but essentially a pop-up will come up asking you to choose which calendar you want to integrate with. You put in your login and your password, and that's it. You're done. It's a one-time thing, and away you go. So that's how you sync to your calendar. Now, a couple of important dates that I mentioned, such as, for example, reminders. So if I click on, a contact in the CRM, there's a couple of important dates here that are nice to be synced to your calendar. One of the common use cases of the CRM with Web for Realty members and just top agents that I speak to on the Top Agent podcast as well that we host is reminders. So, for example, I know several top agents, what they do on a nightly basis is they go into the CRM, they sort of track or they think about, okay, who did I interact with? Who did I speak to today that I came in contact with? First thing they do, go into their CRM just to make sure they're in the CRM, of course. And if they are, they like to set reminders just to build the relationship with these people and help nurture that relationship. So one thing you could do, so let's say Susan Smith, I came in contact today with Susan Smith. I'm going to set a reminder to call Susan, or let's text Susan a week from now, so October 27th at noon, and I can add it to my calendar. It's not synced because I disconnected it, but you just add it to your calendar. You can be reminded by sending an email. We'll send you a text message, or if you do call me, it's a cool one. We'll actually call you with like a robot saying, "Hey, text Susan on this date," which is pretty cool. So that's a great one. So when I select add to my calendar, text Susan will be right on my calendar on October 27th at 12 p.m. So that's a great one. Another one is closing dates, of course. So let me just go to another contact so it's fresh here. If you're not already tracking your closing dates, very important to do so. Highly recommend it. Just makes your life so much easier and organized. So you can manage your transactions right in the CRM as well. So if I click transaction, let's say John is a client, I'm buying with John, helping him buy a place. His transaction dates today, closing date is December 20th. Put in the amount just for your own record keeping. Prices these days, they're in those 7 digits, and depending on where you are, your commission, and any notes. So I click add. So now other important dates here, right? Transaction date, closing dates. Right when I do that, these dates are now directly integrated, synced to my calendar. So I'm on top of them, and there's so much you can do when they are with these dates, such as closing date. I don't know if you were around last week for our webinar. It was all about how to nurture clients around closing dates. So I highly recommend checking that one out. But yeah, that's another very important date to be synced to your calendar. Obviously, closing dates, because that's it's probably the most important date in your client's journey right there. And another one, basic one, birthdays, right? That's a common one. So you can edit a contact, put in their birthday here, and it's another date. So that's going to be integrated to your calendar. When you see that, you're obviously going to text that client, and away you go. So that's that's just showing you 3 just very simple examples of important dates and how impactful, how important they are to actually integrate within your calendar. So let me go back to the slides here. All right, so number 2, segment your clients, or your contacts. Again, this is something I see very often where agents are just sort of bulk uploading, bulk adding their contacts in their CRM, and that's it, like with no organization at all. And that's a big no-no, right? You don't want to do that. There's way better ways to manage your contacts, which we'll show you in a quick second here. And the reason is, very simply, not all of your contacts are created equal. So it's very important to segment clients in different buckets, different groups, depending on who they are, where they came from, where they're at on their journey. Some examples, which often that I see, family, close friends, acquaintances. One of the common ones I see with which a lot of realtors are taught is sort of like the ABC level leads, pre-construction leads, internet leads. There's so many different ways to segment. This is all very specific depending on how you organize and manage your business, but these are some common ones that I have seen. And so when you segment, it's great just for practical purposes and being organized. So for example, which I'll show you in a quick demo after this, but when you're in your CRM, you can quickly just simply select the segment for a quick view of whoever's just in that segment, rather than just having a long list of contacts and sifting through aimlessly. It also becomes very important when it's time to send communication to your contacts in the form of emails, for example. So instead of blasting all of your contacts with the same email, which probably won't be relevant to everyone, with segments, you can now create unique and relevant emails and just send to certain groups of segments. So that's it's very important to segment. So let me share my screen again here and show you about segments. One second. All right, back to the dashboard here. Let me open this up. All right, so one common way to segment people very simply is just by using group tags. So group tags is just a tag that you simply assign to a contact. So for example, John Jones here, he is my family. So I'm going to assign him the family tag. You can also just create new tags. So for example, if I go on this person here, I can create a new group tags of, I don't call it acquaintances. Not sure if I spelled that right, but there you go. Select the color, boom, so acquaintances. So that's quick and easy way to organize segment contacts. One, it's very useful to have your CRM and your website obviously integrated together, because there's so much value, so much you can do when you, instead of having a third-party CRM. And I'll show you a quick example, because you can now automate your segments as well with group tags, which I'll show you a quick example here, because I think this is very relevant and very important. So again, it's just my test website here. I have a page on this website, just as an example, called Find Out What Your House is Worth, which just has a contact form. It's a lead generating form. And this could be anything, right? This could be a pre-construction landing page, a home evaluation, find your dream home. Like, there's so many different landing pages that provide value to people. So this is just an example here. Find out what your house is worth. It's a landing page. So if I edit the form here, I can auto assign group tags. So for example, I'm going to edit here. So right here, would you like to assign a group tag when someone fills out this form? So basically what this means, when someone goes on my website and fills out this particular form on this particular page on my website, I'm going to automatically assign this group tag to this person. So you can edit this and change that, but I've already done that. So home evaluation. So when someone fills out this form, they're going to be assigned home evaluation right away. So you don't have to manually go in now and change that around. So that's very helpful, very useful, and highly recommended if you have contact forms on your website. So that's a quick one right there. And the views. So just again, for practical purposes, if you're in your CRM, I'm going to go back to LeadBank here. So right in the search bar here, you can segment quickly. So if I'm in my CRM, I quickly want to say, okay, I don't know, closing date. Which closing dates do I have up? Boom. So, you can see 3 closings coming up. If I want to see, quickly see who's in my, what other one? Sorry, this is a test one, upcoming birthdays, so just for quick practicality purposes for viewing and just, finding the right person quickly, efficiently saves you, minutes rather than just going through a list, searching, etc. So that's just for practicality purposes, very easy. And again, for email marketing, I don't want to go through this right now because don't want to make these webinars too granular, too detailed. But this is something that we'll definitely get into. There's other videos and tutorials that we have for this as well. But being able to communicate, send emails with two particular groups of segments as well. So that's another huge advantage of having segments. So back to the slides here. All right, and the last step three, or not step three, but the third effective way, documentation. Ways to manage your CRM better, documentation. So this is probably the most important way to make sure you're using your CRM correctly. It's notes, documenting. As I mentioned before, real estate agents are in the people business. You're constantly meeting people, you're networking, communicating, keeping in touch with your clients and leads and family and friends, and we're all human. It's very normal to forget things, even the smallest things that you think, yeah, I'll remember that, no problem, no need to write down a note. Those are the ones that you always forget, and those are often the most impactful as well. So at the end of the day, no one here is a superhuman with a super brain. We need to use the simple tools to help us be efficient and organized. And uh, it's notes, it's note taking. So quick slide here. So, just an example, think of those small instances where you're speaking with a contact, let's just say, or a client, and they tell you the smallest thing, like for example, about their kid's first soccer game that's coming up. Now, in reality, that small, seemingly insignificant piece of information will likely be forgotten. But imagine if you wrote a quick note that took 2 seconds to do. The next time you speak to that lead, you ask about that soccer game with their kid's first soccer game. That simple interaction will leave such a lasting impression on your client or your contact, and build that particular relationship so much more, because it just really shows that you care. But we have to remember these things, and the easiest way to remember is with notes and documentation. So it's a really great habit to just start taking notes and being mindful of the impact, even if in the smallest notes could have. So that's super, super important. And just to share my screen again, just about note taking here. Just how easy it is to just quickly go in, write notes. So there we go. So again, using John Jones here. I speak to John today. He just mentions his 4-year-old's first soccer game's coming up. It's so cool. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click notes in the top right. I say, spoke to John, his son's first soccer game next week, next Wednesday, whatever. Click note. So boom, it's noted, it's time stamped. You can see exactly when you wrote this note. So now next time you're in your CRM, you go on John's profile, you can easily see this note here. And spoke to John, his son's first soccer game. So just a quick reminder, quick note, takes 2 seconds to do, but so impactful. It really helps with that relationship building. So with that being said, now I do want to remind everyone, there's obviously a lot more you can do with a CRM, and we're sort of just touching the surface here. And we're definitely going to have many webinars that dive deeper in how to use specific tools in the CRM, but this webinar was just meant to hopefully get you to understand some of the fundamental basics. Like, even if you don't do anything in your CRM other than these 3 things that we went through: syncing to your calendar, segmenting your contacts, and documentation, note taking. If you do those 3 things, that alone, I guarantee you, will help you become so much more organized and productive without question. So lastly, as promised, number 1, if you're not a Web for Realty member, we do have an exclusive promo, which let me pop in right here. And I'll get to Web for Realty members as well. So we do have exclusive promo. If you're not a Web for Realty member, you can get the first 4 months of service at 50% off if you sign up using this link right here that I just dropped on the screen. So if you are interested, make sure you click that link because you know it will go away in a second. So 50% off is what you get for the first 4 months. So that you can claim right there. I'll give it a couple seconds because I do see a lot of you are clicking. If you don't get to it as well, let me know and I can send you the link. Now, secondly, if you are an existing Web for Realty member, we do have something for you as well. Now, if you don't have LeadBank CRM already enabled on your account, please click on this link because not only will we offer it to you, but you'll get unlimited usage of the CRM and SmartMail if you want SmartMail as well for only $10 each. So unlimited contacts in the CRM, unlimited email sends per month, unlimited everything for just $10. And it's a great promo, great value, and this will be good for the life of your business with us. So claim that, just fill out the form, and away you go. And that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I want to open it up to any questions that you might have. So I'll stick around for a few more minutes, and if there's any questions. Have you integrated automatic drip campaign now? One of our I think last week's webinar was actually on our newest product called Nurture Flow. And Nurture Flow allows you to not only do drip campaigns, but way more than that. So not only send up automated campaigns and emails and texts, but automated workflow management, reminders, and all that. I highly suggest going on the webinars page on our website. I'll drop it in the chat, and you can actually register for past webinars as well if you missed any. There's a lot of great stuff in there. Let me drop that in. Facebook and Instagram marketing, great suggestion, Riaz. We'll definitely note that. What were the items again to group the contacts? I'll put up that slide again, if that's what you mean. So these are just some examples, right? Family, friends, acquaintances, ABC level leads, which are very common nowadays, depending on where you are, especially in Toronto, pre-construction leads, internet leads, special events. So one, special events is a good one because I know one of Web for Realty clients, Halloween is coming up. So he's doing pumpkin giveaways to his clients. He's dropping them off at their doors. So he created a segment, a group tag called Pumpkin. So whoever he gave the pumpkin to, he's just putting in that group tag. So he knows like who he gave the pumpkin to. After, he's probably going to send an email to them as well. So that's another way to do it with special events that are very specific. Relocation, Tamala, great another example there for sure. All right, great. I'm going to leave it there. Again, this is going to be. Oh, sorry, one. Yeah. Yeah, Tamala, great question. We do create you can create many landing pages right within Page Manager. That's also a service we provide. There's a lot of resources and videos we can send. If you send me an email, I will point you in the right direction for sure, and we can help out with that. Yeah, so any contact form that just for Jim and Joni Burton there with a question. Will the lead bank landing page come to our email since we use a CRM called Act? So what happens in that case if you're using another CRM? You will get an email notification every time someone fills out a form on your website. You'll get a text message as well. That contacts will get stored in your lead bank CRM that's attached to your website. But then there's many ways you can export those contacts to a third-party CRM. You can either export the leads. I know a couple people who just export the leads, let's say once a week, import them into another CRM, or etc. If you send me an email, I can send you some details and more information as well. Yeah, Riaz, if you send me a quick email just requesting that information on landing pages, we'll definitely get you that information. There is no Zapier integration at this point. That is something I've heard once or twice, and not too often, but that is definitely something we can certainly look into if there's enough demand and it makes sense for sure. All right, I'm going to leave it there. For anyone else who has any questions, my direct email, Costa, Kosta, at webforrealty.com. I'm sure most of you know it already. Please shoot me a message if there's any questions. If you have any suggestions on upcoming webinars, would love that as well. And I hope you found this useful. If you came late, left early, you will get a replay of the webinar as well. So that's that. Thank you all so much for attending, and we will see you hopefully next week. Take care.